Hi, so we are going to walk through the steps of making a gift basket today using a basket tray. The tray shape is smaller at the bottom and then is flares out and is a little bit bigger of a circumference at the top. So our first step is we get packing paper, well, butcher paper, I guess it is called. And for this larger size, I use 2 sheets. I already have some crumpled, but what we do is we grab a sheet, we crumple it up, nothing fancy, and put it in the bottom. And then we grab another piece, we crumple it up, and we put it in the bottom here. Then our next step is paper, or shredded paper, crinkle cut. We use the spring fill. Just grab a handful, and you're just going to kind of spread it out over top so that it covers up your butcher paper. And I usually try to, get it so that it's up a little bit high because you want your products to stand out above the top. You don't want them sinking down too much, and you can always grab more shred as you go through the process if you need it. Then our next step is I'm going to, basically what you want to do is arrange your basket. We want to remove all the price tags. I'm not doing that because this is just an example. And then you want to arrange using your larger, taller items in the back and then your smaller in the front. So I usually pull the shred back a little bit to tuck in bags so that they stay in place. My larger items in the back. So there you can see like the 2 taller items are in the back. And then we'll just start working our way forward. So we have, this is more of a snacky basket. You can really put whatever you want in a basket. That's the cool part about it. Got some pancake mix. So I'll put that up here in the front. It is nice to have things even too. I really do try to do that, but it doesn't always work out depending on if the customers picked out the items or if you've picked it out. I might actually not include that one. Actually, maybe I will. Well, I think we need one more thing over here. You want to grab a, can we pause that or does that not work? Okay, so we didn't have something to balance this, so we grabbed it. So we're going to do 2 bags of chocolate covered pretzels to give it a little bit of a balance. And you can kind of see it looks nice. Now, tucking something in here might be nice too, but for the purposes of this video, we're just gonna, show you how to do it, not necessarily make the perfect basket. But I do think there's still a little bit of space in there, but I'm like a full basket kind of gal. So, so you can see you go tallest to smallest, and you try to display all the products so that each one can be seen. Then we have our transparent tape. It's the Scotch tape in the red box. It does not show, you can't see it, which is nice. So if you have a business card, tuck it in the back. Most people don't want it like right up front unless you're donating to a raffle, but I always tuck it in back. And then you just start taping. So you want everything secured to the box so when you shake it, it kind of doesn't move, and then we'll wrap it. So we go to the back. I usually start in the back. You can start wherever you want. Tape the things in the back to the box so that they don't move. And then we'll just start, here. So just whatever they're closest to. If there's a gap, it's kind of hard to tape, but this is right next to the side here. So I'll tape it to that, and I'll tape it, the back of it, to the pretzels here. And then we'll tape these 2 things together. And we'll tape this to the back of the box there. You don't want to over tape, so don't get me wrong. Like, taping is good, but you don't want to put 1,000 pieces of tape on either. So kind of, you want to be an even taper, if that makes any sense. And then this guy, so I'm going to struggle with where to put that piece of tape, but I actually may just go right here because it's closest to that. And then same thing here. It's kind of closest to the thing behind it, and that way it'll hide the tape the best. And this guy too, actually, I'm wondering if we just tape them up there. And then if you can always put some tape between them. You kind of tuck it in between so you don't, there's not tons of evidence of tape. But really, I mean, from where you're at, you probably can't even see that there's tape on there. So it's kind of handy in that way. And this guy's pretty heavy, so I might put another little piece there. But now you do what we call the shake test. So things are moving, but not all over the place. Okay, so your next step is the wrapping. So you have your roll of cellophane, or cello as we call it. Some people say cello, it's really not, no. And you roll it out. So our length, we actually already have a piece rolled out, but you roll it out to the right length. And that length is usually going to be that you have some overlap at the top in both the back and the front. So you have enough that you can gather it at the top and then attach a bow to it. So that is our length. And for this size basket, we are using a 30-inch roll. So you don't actually, for this extra large basket size, you don't need to cut it. If you're using the large basket size, then you do need to cut a little bit off the side from the width so you don't have too much paper that you're trying to gather. And then you just want to center it from left to right, going the short way. And then the long way, you want to center it, but with a tiny bit more in the front than the back. So you can see we have a little bit more in the front and the back because we're going to grab our bow kind of right in the back there, not like in the center up here. And then this is kind of just my method. I know I actually have had people who worked here who did it slightly differently. Whatever works as long as it looks nice, but this is just a way that I found is easy to do. So I start my first two folds on either side are going to be from holding the front. So I grab the front and I hold it taut. And you want it to be nice and smooth along the front of the box. And then you want to actually make the sides smooth as well with this front piece. And you can tuck your shred in a little bit here in the handle. So what I do is I just grab it here and make it nice and taut along the edge. Grab a piece of tape and tape it to the back of the box so that it stays in place. And then my second is kind of so you make it smooth. And then you do the top flap and the bottom flap. So I first do the top flap. Really, you just want it to, again, you're still holding it up here in the center, and you're just flapping that down and making it smooth along the side and taping that flap in the back. Again, so your first two folds are done on this side, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side quickly. And then I'll show you the third fold. So the third fold is going to come from the back. So I just grab the back and I make it taut in the back, straight up the back, and I fold this flap. You want it to be kind of creased a little. I fold this flap up so the side kind of looks like the side of a present, really. Like you might wrap a present. And you kind of have to like play around with it, but you want to just make it smooth and then kind of tuck it behind and grab it as a fold and fold it up so it's nice and smooth rather than bunching together. And then I do two tape placements, one here and one here. So I'll do that on the other side. It does take a little bit of getting used to get everything nice and not like gathered so that it's a bunch. And the last step is we're going to grab our, I think it's a 6-inch twist tie. And you want to just gather everything as tightly as possible without squashing product. So you want it to look nice and smooth without everything being squished. So I try to do it right in the center of the basket, kind of like at your center line. And then I just kind of pull it tight. You especially want the front to look tight so that it's not kind of going to fall down and then be all baggy, if that makes sense. And then you just pinch it. Don't twist it because then it looks dumb in my opinion. But anyway, pinch it as tight as you can. Kind of push it in and pinch it. Grab your twist tie and twist it a couple of times. And then you have your tight center. And then I just wrap the ends around. Then you want to make your fluffy part uniform. So right now you can see it's kind of all different lengths. So grab your scissors. I like titanium edge ones because they cut really nicely. And you really just want to gather it together and give it a haircut. Somebody told me that at one point, I think, but and just kind of cut straight across. And voila! And then you attach your bow, which is a whole other video, but yeah, so there we go. And if you do see something that you don't like, I usually just try to play around until I find the right spot. And I kind of hold on and I pull up in that area until I get the spot that I want getting a little bit tighter if you need to adjust after the fact. So yeah, there we go. Thanks, guys.